Hello everybody, thank you for stopping by the shop, and as you know, the title of this video is Buddies, and we'll start off with my best buddy right here, old Howie. Huh, bud? Can't have a better friend than this little guy right here, okay? Alright, off camera now, thank you for the kiss. Alright, quit being a ham, go, don't knock the camera over on your way out, go lay down. Hey, well again guys, go. Guys, hey, thanks for stopping by my shop. As I said, the title of this video is Buddies, and all you guys are buddies. I appreciate your time stopping by to see me, and see no shave here. I haven't gone to work since Thursday. My son Tim was in the hospital on Thursday. As a lot of you guys know, he's a special needs kid. He's 26 years old now, and he was having dentistry work done where they had to put him under, and I ended up, they pulled one wisdom tooth, and here it is Sunday afternoon, and he's just about starting to eat again. It's been a little bit tough, but we're getting there. But buddies, I just want to say again, thanks to everybody. I'm almost to 8,000 subscribers, which is quite amazing. And let's start off on talking about buddies. So, over the years, I've talked about a friend named Chewy, a retired tool maker, and he came by yesterday for a visit. He's going to be selling his house and moving about 3 hours away. So the open house, he had to get out of the house, and came over, and we had a great time, and his wife Carmen came over later, and we had just a special evening. Well, it was kind of cool. It was talking about buddies. Well, he brought me something. Let me open it up here. He brought me a rescue collet, and it's a 5C collet, and if you guys don't know how to use a rescue collet, which I did not know how to use a rescue collet, I had to ask him about it. As you can see, there's 3 pins in the collet there. And what you do is you would machine the bore of the collet to what you want to hold. Ream it, machine it, ream it. Then you pull the pins, and of course that's going to allow it to tighten up a little bit more. And now you have a collet you can use for a specific size. So anyway, my buddy Chewy brought me this, and thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. While we're on the subject of buddies, you'll see, you're going to see a box of stuff here shortly that I purchased, and which was really great when Chewy was here. One of the boxes had a bunch of stuff that really had no value to me, but my buddy, it worked for him, and that was great. Just passed everything on to him. But I got, talking about buddies, I got a sad buddy that I got to talk about. Back in February of 2014, I was building my copy of an Enerpac toe jack, and in that video, which was, I got a note here, Tool Time 14. I used to call my videos Tool Time back then. I named the toe jack the Mitchells. And if you can go back, and there's a lot of history about it, but unfortunately, it was named after Steve Mitchell, and he passed on. Same age as me, and he's been fighting cancer in his jaw since 2014 and a little prior to that, and he fought and fought, and I named the Enerpac copy the Mitchell because he was so strong, and I wanted my tool to be that strong, and I'm certainly going to miss his friendship, and it's a bummer. But anyway, Steve, I know you're watching. He was a viewer of my videos, and I know he's watching me also. So, Steve, I know you're in a better place, and we'll see you soon. Not too soon, I hope. Let's go on to my $25 tool buy. There's a fella here local that, and I don't know if you can see it, but he brought me this. And it's a 5C collet, 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 and it's a basically passes on items at a relatively inexpensive price. He basically gets a lot of stuff and he brokers it through. He's not out there to get rich, he's just to get it out. And if you remember, I bought that grinding vise. Let me grab it real quick. I think you guys might, anybody that's watched my channel for a while, you might remember this guy right here. Well, when I bought it, it was just a piece of rust. And I cleaned it all up. And then my buddy Chewy says, give it to me, because I'm going to squirrel that thing out. And he took it to showroom condition. It's a two-direction vise for the grinder. And so anyway, and Dan had a add-on, and so let me move the camera, and we'll take a peek at what I bought. I bought two things. He had an add-on for $15, which was the box of just miscellaneous stuff, and then I started picking through, and I put together a tray, and he said $10. So let's take a look at this. So I put together this tray, and there's two large what do you call those guys? You guys know what they're called. Two of these, 1-inch diameter shanks, and they are, it'll come to me. Anyway, two of those. This is all for $10. 4 of these stepped toe clamps, two of these guys that I basically for the steel. What the hell, use them for something. There's another step toe clamp. There was these two vice jaws, and I've already ground them so that they're just perfect, so I can use them for setup blocks. That's why I picked those up. I don't need to put them back in there. And there was all of this high-speed tooling that had been machined or ground already, and they're marked 15 degrees, 22 degrees. So I picked up all those. And then there were these blocks, and these blocks are basically 3x3. They're set up for a Allen head counterboard, and then they're also threaded 1/2 inch, and they're precision. So there's 2 of these blocks, and then I think these are possibly drill guides. Again, they're precision blocks, and they again are set up for the Allen head, the counterbore. So they'll bolt onto these blocks here. And then there's this guy, which is, again, bolts to the other blocks and is a quick release swing out clamp. All that for $10. It was a sweet deal, and I'm excited about that. So let's move on to the next subject that involves more buddies. So some more buddy story here. So I'm standing in the doorway that goes into my wood shop, heading from the main shop, and as you can see, there's a new bench there in the center. I saw this bench on Craigslist, and I wrote the fella, and I said he wanted $250 for it. And I said, I'm really interested in it. Are you firm on the number? And he says, I'll work on it, but he goes, I'll hold it for you. And he's about 30 minutes away from me, up in South San Francisco. So I said, great. And I knew it wasn't a high dollar bench, but it was something I was looking for. So I was thinking about it. I went, well, I don't want to drive up there. I don't know. It's not I can tell, but it's not a high dollar bench, but it's okay. So I called my good friend Gary that works up there, and he happens to lived down by Ray Cornelia down in Fresno, and he goes home on the weekends. So I said, ask my friend Gary. He says, hey, can you go look at it for me? Here's the guy's phone number. And so he said, sure, I'll go look at it for you. So blind phone call for him, and he calls the guy, and he turns around and sends me a text message, and he goes, Chuck, it's such and such. I'm not going to say his name. And of course I knew who it was. I think I've met the fella. Well, it turns out that he is a best friend buddy of my best friend buddy that lives up in Napa, Sonoma. And my buddy Gary knew this fella that had the wood bench for sale. They've known each other for 20, 30 years. So he went over and looked at it for me, and he mentioned to the seller that it was Chuck, and the seller says, well, I know who Chuck is from my buddy Dave, and we'll cut him a good deal. So I ended up $150 for the bench, and really, really happy with it. And I'm going to move the camera around a little bit. It's not a high dollar bench. It's got some particle board in it, but it is a start. And I was really going to almost move this white bench out of here. That was in the middle, and I thought that I would put that bench, the woodworking bench, in the middle and try it out and see what I thought. And right now I'm kind of happy with the way I've got the shop set up. So what I did do, I'm going to move the camera a little bit. You probably can't see underneath it. There's a shadow there. But yeah, there you go. Well, I got some steel plate. That's a piece of 1-inch steel plate. And then there's another chunk of steel plate, 2 inches. So I got about 160 pounds of steel plate on a couple of bars there to really weight the base down. And that seemed to really help. And I'm kind of happy, and can't wait to start using the bench and see how it works out. So I'm going to swing the camera here a little bit, and we'll see what I did here. Walk into the other side. So I wasn't going to keep the white bench. I've had that bench for 20 years. So it's hard to give up tools. That's a tool. It's hard to give up tools when you've had it that long. So I slid it over there to make sure that I like the new woodworking bench. And actually I think I found a home right there, and it's not going to leave. I got plenty of room to work around the 2 benches, and it works with the table saw there, and you can see the light there. So I'm pretty happy. Oh, let's see, we got a wood box here. We got a wood box here. I did a little teaser on Facebook. Should we open it? No, we can't open it yet. We got to talk about these boxes. Let me reset the camera. Well, you can see on top, here's a box that I've had. I've had it for some time. I don't know what was in it when I got it. It's a heck of a little wood box. It's old. I wish this box could tell stories. I bet you we could hear some good stories from it. Anyway, I wanted to copy this box. So I set out to figure out the joinery, which I haven't done any woodworking in a long time. And so I made a little test tray here to work out the joints. And it worked out okay. And so I said, all right, well, we'll move on to making a box. So I made a box with a sliding lid, and I made this box. I want to make more boxes, and these are for my precision tools. So this one actually has my cylindrical square in it. I bought this cylindrical square, and it didn't have any kind of storage capability for it. So I put a couple of yolks down in there, and they're covered with cork. And now I got a safe place to keep the cylindrical square. The box worked out okay. Taught me some lessons about my new wood shop setup, and we'll be doing some more woodworking out here. And let's move on to the next buddy's story, which involves the Monarch. Well, this is the final buddy story. My good friend Dave, also known aka Flea Market Dave, he went to the secret machinery dealer that I can't tell you where he's at, although some people have found it out. He went there on Friday, and he called me up and he said, "Chuck, I just picked you up something here. Got you a steady rest for the Monarch." And I went and picked it up today from Dave and paid him for it. Got it at a great price, and I'll end up probably making new fingers and doing some cam followers type of setup on it. But these things, you don't find them all the time, and he ran into it, and my good buddy picked it up for me. So thank you very much, Dave. So with all that, that's the close of this video. Lots of good buddies, and to all my buddies that are viewing this, all my subscribers and new viewers, see you again next Screwy Tuesday. Thanks for stopping by. Going to close out this video, but another buddy just stopped by, a neighbor and golfing buddy, and just a good ass friend. Well, he's got a buddy of a buddy that said, "Hey, Bruce, maybe you can take this out." Well, Bruce was a mechanic for 30 years. He's also my bolt supplier now, which is pretty cool. He works for a bolt house, and I can just call him up or send him a text and tell him what I need, and he picks it up for me and delivers, since he lives around the corner, which is just sweet. Well, he told his buddy of a buddy, "I've got a buddy that can maybe help you here." So I got a hayman job. This is pull this up here. It's a hydrofoil, liquid forced hydrofoil, and here's the mirror side of it. So there's two, I think they're M8 stainless bolts going into aluminum, and the owner was taking it apart and managed to snap off one of the stainless bolts. So it got me a hayman project here for a buddy, and we'll get after it. I'm going to produce this video right now, so you're not going to see an attempt at a repair. My thought is if I can get this side apart, one side is loose but the other was tight, get this apart, it's the mirror image of the other side, and I can go ahead and install it on this side, and then I have something to chuck up with in the mill, and I got something to hold it since this guy's tapered. Now I got something to hold it, and I can center up on the hole and then punch the hole, clean it out. That's my plan. Yeah, if I can't do that, then I'm going to go to plan B and figure out how I'm going to hold that and get it out. Alright guys, that's a wrap.